Some good news for South Hills commuters. Progress is being made near Station Square following the train derailment. The Smithfield Street Bridge has now been reopened, and the Mon Incline is open again. Also, the Norfolk Southern Railroad is now open in both directions. But it could be some time before the T is running again at Station Square, and Carson Street near the derailment is still closed. Good evening, I'm Stacy Smith.
And I'm Julie Grant. And as you mentioned, Stacy, even though Carson Street is still closed, that is because those rail cars have been removed. But there's a lot of cleanup that's still left to do in that area. That's where we find John Shumway. He is live with more details on what's happening. John.
Yeah, and let's start with a little more detail on Carson Street, because this is important for not only the folks heading home today, but for folks coming in tomorrow. All of Carson Street is not reopened. We're at the Smithfield Street Bridge in Carson, and from here westbound it's open, but it is not open eastbound. You want to know that for the morning rush hour. The section from here to Arlington remains closed because that's where they're still doing the cleanup work, but beyond that, from Arlington on down, it is open. And for the first time today, we got to hear from the lady who was inside the T station office on Sunday afternoon when this derailment happened, and from one of the men who was on the platform. And their stories are incredible. Princess Ferguson was in her normal Sunday afternoon spot in the Station Square T station when the noise turned her head to the east end of the station.
And I seen like dust, a whole bunch of dust coming from over top of the hill. And I'm like, what in the world's going on? As soon as I looked forward back onto my platform, I seen the trains coming over the hillside.
Ferguson grabbed her phone and ran towards the tumbling cars.
And I saw, my passengers on the platform. I ran up there, told them, get off, let's go, hurry, 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 get off.
Jeff Davis was one of those passengers.
She really deserves a ton of credit.
Davis saw the train aggressively rocking before the first car left the tracks.
And at that point, you don't even think about what's behind you. I was thinking about getting out of there.
When things settled, Davis asked Ferguson if he could go back and retrieve his bike.
So I walked up there with him to get his bike, and that's when he said, Thank you for everything you just did. You just saved my life.
The pile of debris ended up 50 feet from where Davis had been sitting.
I thought about how many things could have gone wrong, right? If they tell me it was Listerine. If this was hazardous waste or explosives, I'd be dead. I mean, you cannot run a fireball.
God was with me that day.
14 years with the Port Authority, Princess Ferguson says her actions were reflex. Reflection is harder.
I could have been gone, or my passengers, I could have seen anything.
It's the what could have been that haunts.
Once I got home and tried to go to bed, only thing I saw was that train coming down when I went to sleep. So I really didn't get no sleep for the last couple of days.
Yeah, and she also told us that she is nervous about the idea of coming back here to the Station Square's T station to work. So the Port Authority folks, who have been full of praise for how she handled this, have said that she can go to South Hills Junction when she's ready to come back to work. Now, a couple of things. Fixing that T station, they're not sure exactly what all it's going to take until they get all the debris off of there. And as long as it's closed, you can expect 20 to 30-minute delays in the morning and the afternoon rush hour as the T's run up and over Allentown. As far as the cause, that's still under investigation. It could be weeks before we know. And among the things they're going to be looking at, is there enough protection for this station from those rails above? Live on Carson Street, John Shumway, KDKA-TV News.